What's good, R&B squad? This is Out of Ruth. I trust that this message meets you guys in good spirits. If you are new to this family, we don't believe that you're here by accident. Welcome. We're happy to have you. And Jesus is, of course, always happier. So this word was supposed to be put out yesterday. But then the Lord had me pause a bit and take a rest. And I know now why he had me pause and take a rest and not put the word out yesterday. Because there were some things, he only showed me part of what was needed for this word yesterday, and then he showed me the rest today. So I really did need to take a little bit of a break and wait for him to reveal the entire picture to me. Now, if this is for you, first of all, as you listen, you will know. If not everything in it pertains to your situation, eat the meat, spit out the bone, take what's for you, leave the rest. Y'all know how we do it here. This is also a very heavy message, so make sure that you're absolutely certain that it is for you before you receive it. Take it back to the Lord. Make sure it's for you before you receive it. So yesterday, I heard the Lord say very clearly, tomorrow their world burns. Tomorrow their world burns. And when I asked the Lord what he meant and who was this they, whose world is going to burn tomorrow, he led me to Esther chapter 6. And I'm not going to get into Esther chapter 6 just yet, or to what he meant by tomorrow their world burns. We'll do that after. Let's deal first with the second half of what he showed me. Because the second half of what he showed me today, is going to make what he said last night, what he said to me about the world burning, about this person or these people in their world burning. This second part is going to make that part make so much sense. So the Lord showed me a dream. In this dream, this woman was invited to a funeral. She was invited. Who invites someone to a funeral? You don't get invited to a funeral. It's either you know the individual and you decide to go and pay your respects or not. But who sends somebody an invitation? Anyhow, she was invited to a funeral. And it turns out the funeral that she was invited to, when she got there, or when she was on the way there, she hadn't even gotten there yet. When she was headed there, she came to understand that the funeral was for her. So the way it was set up, it was supposed to be her funeral. But then she threw a monkey wrench in the plans of whoever invited her. Because when she did show up, she was fully alive. She was alive and well. And then the persons who had orchestrated this whole thing, who had set up the funeral to invite her, were looking at her like, how is she alive? This isn't how this is supposed to go. This is all wrong. Why is she here fully alive and not a hair of her head has been hurt? And the woman, from what I understood, she didn't even know that this was going on. She had no idea that these people were plotting her death and planning her funeral ahead of her death. She didn't even know that they were planning this. But you see, when they got to planning the funeral, when they got to putting the funeral together, Lord have mercy. And she wasn't even supposed to get an invite. That's the funny thing. She was not supposed to get an invite. They had been sending out notice to other people about her funeral, and somebody sent a notice to her. So that's how she got the invite. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Follow me in the spirit. So this woman was unaware that these people were planning and putting together her funeral with, and it was behind her back. The entire thing was behind her back. She didn't know. So imagine her surprise upon finding out whose funeral it was. because she's going to this funeral expecting it to be somebody else, not knowing it's supposed to be her funeral. And then these people, when she gets there, they're equally surprised. They're in shock because she was supposed to have arrived in a casket, not alive and well. And that was the end of the dream. So for whom this is for? Somebody just made an attempt on your life. Somebody just made an attempt. For some of you, somebody actually made an attempt in the natural on your life. They may have set you up to get hurt, set you up to be murdered, something in real life. For others of you, somebody put a hit out on you in the spirit realm. So they did a death spell, and they thought that for sure this time it was going to work, that for sure you were going to die. But see, the Lord led me to John 7:38. He who believes in me, as the scripture has said, out of his heart will flow rivers of living water. And then he led me to John 10:10. The thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. I have come that they may have life and that they may have it more abundantly. So in other words, God pronounced a long life over you. It's work that you have to do. There are rivers of living water that need to come out of you that others need to benefit from. You need to minister onto others. You need to help them access that living water. You can't do that if you're dead. I don't know who these people are that are trying to take you out, but they are playing a very dangerous game. They are walking a tightrope and they are over a precipice. God already pronounced something over your life. He already has your whole life planned out, exactly how long you're supposed to live, exactly what you're supposed to do. These people are going to go and put themselves in the seat of Almighty God and think that they can cut you off before you fulfill your purpose on this earth. The audacity. They must not know how people who have tried to interfere in God's plans have a history of being steamrolled. They must not know. See, they made an attempt on your life again. And this time they went about it in such a way that they were sure that it would work. They were sure that you wouldn't wake up this morning. They were sure that you wouldn't make it through the day today. They were absolutely certain that you were going to die this time, because whatever it is they did, whatever death spell they did, it was so potent that they thought this time it had to work. Or whoever they set up to do the dirty work to take you out in the natural, they thought for sure this person would turn on them. For sure it was gonna go through, it was gonna happen. So they did this thing, whoever did this to you, and they're sitting back waiting. They're expecting to receive news of your passing. They're combing social media, expecting to hear that you passed in the next couple days or so. God said he came to give you life and life more abundantly. Can't nobody take you out. No death spell, no plot to end your life is going to take you out. And the persons that did this, or the person that did this, for some of you, it's just one person. Two things. They did it out of jealousy. The Lord keeps putting that scripture verse on my spirit. Pilate knew that they had delivered Jesus up for jealousy, for envy. That verse keeps replaying in my spirit. So these people, they want to take you out purely out of envy. Because your existence, your very existence, threatens them. They can't stand you. You're too anointed. You have too many things going for you. Your future seems too bright. For some of you, there's a twist to this. It wasn't just you that they tried to take out. They also wanted to kill everything that was yours, including the promises that God made over your life. For some of you, it's your marriage promise that they tried to kill. For some of you, it's your dreams that they tried to kill. Your opportunities, your relationship with family. They wanted to destroy everything that you had going for you, that you have going for you. And then at the end of it all, they wanted to put you to death. They wanted to destroy you. So they wanted you to suffer and then die. And you did absolutely nothing to this person. Nothing. Imagine how evil and low down you have to be to want somebody to suffer and then die just because you're jealous of them. I'm scared to know what God is going to do with these people. And then the Lord reminded me of what he said to me yesterday. Tomorrow their roll burns. And how he led me to Esther chapter 6. So I'm going to read Esther chapter 6 for you guys, for those of you who don't know the story. And I'm also going to put it in the description box so that you can go and read that on your own time. And there is a particular way that this is titled. See, where I'm reading from, it's interesting how they worded the introduction of this chapter. Whoever put this chapter online, they worded it so cleverly. The introduction, they worded it so cleverly. So this is the introduction of the chapter that I'm reading from. On that night, the king could not sleep. On that night, the king could not sleep. See, what that reminds me of is that there was this elderly lady that I used to know. She passed on now. God rest her soul. She used to say two things. God don't like ugly and he don't sleep. She used to say God does not sleep. And I was a very young girl when I used to hear her saying that. She was this elderly lady that went to my church. And I never fully understood what she meant. But God doesn't like ugly and he doesn't sleep. But as I get older and I mature in my Christianity, it is so clear to me what she meant and how truthful it is. See, one thing about God, he does not like unfairness. He does not like injustice. He does not like evil. And all of those things are ugly. And the part about him not sleeping, oh, look, that is so true. You see, because God is a God who is always awake and always aware, it's nothing that gets by him. And that is what these people who are trying to harm you need to understand. There is nothing they do that God isn't 10 steps ahead of. There is nothing that they do that God doesn't already know about before they even do it. And some of you, the very prayer that you're saying, you may not even know that these people are planning an attack, that they're putting an attempt out on your life. You may not be aware because you're so busy being blessed and walking in your purpose and walking in your blessing, because God is blessing y'all. He's blessing y'all. You're so busy walking in purpose and receiving blessings from the Lord that you don't have time to even think about anybody trying to put a hit out on you to take you out. God is making sure that you're cushioned and protected from that kind of thing so that you don't even have to sweat about it. God is like, baby girl, my man, that is not your concern. Let me take care of your enemies. You just stay over there and walk in your purpose and be blessed. So some of y'all don't even know. Things are so good for you right now, you do not even know that these people are trying to attack you. And that's why they're trying to attack you, because they're mad because God is blessing you. Like, how dare she be so blessed? How dare he do so well? I saw this cartoon image one time of this Christian man. He was just going about his business, doing the Lord's work and getting about his day, performing his day-to-day tasks. And he would pray while he was doing that. And he could not see in the spirit to see how many things angels were stopping from getting to him. It was a car that was trying to run into him, and an angel was blocking it. It was a plane that was trying to come out the sky and land on his head and crush him, and an angel was holding it up. It was somebody over there that was a thief in a mask trying to come toward him to rob him. And an angel was just looking at him like, if you even try, bro. So this man was just going about his business. He was praying and he was totally unaware that it was all of this chaos happening around him, but God was blocking it in such a way that he did not even know about it. And if that is where you are right now, oh, God bless you. God bless you. When it gets to the point where there are attacks going on that you don't even know about, bro, sis, you are blessed. That's how you know God is really blessing you. When people are attacking you and you don't even feel it to the point where you don't even know it is happening, that's when you know God is blessing you. So these people, if they think that God didn't know what they were getting ready to do, they have another thought coming. And then you see, that's the thing. Some of these people that are plotting against you, things have already started to fall apart for them. And if they look at the timeline, they can trace it back to when they started to attack you. See, as soon as they started to attack you, things started going wrong for them. And at first, it was just little things. And if you read Esther chapter 6, you will see that that is what happened to Haman. Little things started to go wrong for him first, and eventually it led to his biggest downfall ever, which was his death. And all of it started when he began to attack Mordecai and Esther's people. That's when things started to go downhill for him. And it's the same thing for some of these people who are attacking y'all. If they look at the timeline, they will notice that little things started to go wrong in their lives from the moment they started attacking you. But you see, they explained it away. Their arrogance and their narcissism could not bring them to admit that these things started happening to them around the same time that they started attacking you. Matter of fact, their envy of you is so great and their dislike of you is so intense that they know deep down that it has to be God that is fighting for you, because all these things didn't just go wrong in their lives just by chance. They know it has to be God fighting for you. But because they're arrogant, they intend to keep attacking you because somehow they think that they can win. I don't know how stupid you have to be to think that you can fight Almighty God. I've said this before, and win. You are either deranged or you're really stupid, or both. If you think you could put your hand against God in a wrestling match and win, so I'm going to get into Esther chapter 6. On that night, the king could not sleep, and he commanded to bring the book of records of the Chronicles, and they were read before the king. And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Bigthana and Teresh, two of the king's chamberlains, the keepers of the door, who sought to lay hand on the king. And the king said, "What honor and dignity has been done to Mordecai for this?" Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, "There is nothing done for him." And the king said, "Who is in the court?" Now Haman was come into the outward court of the king's house to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him. So That's the interesting thing. Haman was in the court getting ready to come in and speak with the king to ask the king to put Mordecai to death. That's exactly what's going on with y'all right now. It's somebody that's plotting to put you to death, to get rid of you, to take you out. They're getting ready to. But watch God. Watch God throw a monkey wrench in their plans, just like in that dream where they were planning that woman's funeral. And then she turned up at the funeral that was meant for her alive. She wasn't laying in no casket. Watch God put a monkey wrench in their plans. Let me continue reading. And the king's servant said unto him, Behold, Haman standeth in the court. And the king said, Let him come in. So Haman came in, and the king said unto him, What shall be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor? Now Haman thought in his heart, To whom would the king delight to do honor more than to myself? And Haman answered the king, For the man whom the king delights to honor. Let the royal apparel be brought with the king, which the king uses to wear, and the horse that the king rides, and the crown royal which is set upon the king's head. And let this apparel and the horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man whom the king delighteth to honor, and bring him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaim before him, Thus shall it be done to the man whom the king delights to honor. Then the king said to Haman, Make haste and take the apparel and the horse as thou hast said, and do so even unto Mordecai the Jew, that sitteth at the king's gate. Let nothing fail of all that thou hast spoken. Then took Haman the apparel and the horse, and arrayed Mordecai, and brought him on horseback through the street of the city, and proclaimed before him, Thus shall it be done unto the man whom the king delighteth to honor. And Mordecai came again to the king's gate, but Haman hasted to his house mourning, and having his head covered. And the Lord has been speaking with me about mourning and gnashing of teeth. See, that's what's going to happen to these people who are plotting against you, to this person who is plotting to end your life. And you see, just like Haman, some of them are thinking that they're about to be on cloud 9. They're thinking that after they put you to death, things are going to happen for them like that. Somehow in their sick minds, they have equated the fact that nothing is going right for them with the fact that you still exist. So magically, all of their problems are going to go away if you die. That's what these people think. And they're on a cloud 9 right now, thinking that that's what's going to happen. Just like Haman thought that he was going to have his way. He thought that Mordecai was going to die, and then everything was going to go smoothly for him after that. And he was bold enough to want to claim Mordecai's blessings for himself. He thought he was worthy of Mordecai's blessings. When the king started talking about I want to honor this man. How should I honor him? Haman was bold enough to believe that he deserved that kind of honor. So some of these people, one of the reasons why they want to take you out is because they think they deserve your blessings and you don't. And they think if they get rid of you, that the blessings that were meant for you are automatically going to be theirs. Some of these people, it's somebody that wants to marry you, and they think if they take you out, the person that wants to marry you is going to be with them. Is going to get back together with them. That's what they think. For others of you, if you're lined up for a promotion at your job, it's people that think if they take you out, then they're going to be promoted. For some of you, it's family that they have a long-standing history of being envious of you and thinking that if you did not exist, somehow their life would be better. My God. But as y'all will see in the rest of this chapter, Haman's plans did not go the way he thought they would go. See, Haman had a plan, but so did God. So I'm reading on. And Haman told Zeresh his wife and all his friends everything that had befallen him. Then said his wise men and Zeresh his wife unto him, If Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews, before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him, but shalt surely fall before him. And he should have listened to his wife. His wife was smarter than he was. His wife was saying, you know what? These people, they got God backing them up. You need to back up off him because you're going to fall. It's no way you're going to win this fight. His wife told him that, and he didn't listen. Some of these people in their own camp, are telling them, you need to back up off that person because those people have already realized that you're blessed. They don't know nothing about you, but they know enough to know that God be blocking certain things from hitting you. They know enough to know that God is fighting for you, and they're trying to warn this individual or these individuals who are attacking you relentlessly. They're trying to warn them like, you, bruh, sis, you need to stop because this person is being protected by God. You need to stop before it gets real ugly for you. They ain't listening though. They are not listening. They're so prideful, but pride goes before a fall. And y'all know what happened in Esther chapter 7. See, Haman wasn't just humiliated. He was humiliated. He was found out to be the lying, deceiving snake that he was. And then he lost his life in the same manner that he intended to make Mordecai lose his life. So everything that he planned for Mordecai, he planned Mordecai's downfall, he planned Mordecai's humiliation, and then he planned Mordecai's death. And he hated Mordecai so much that he wanted to take not just him out, but everybody that reminded him of Mordecai. Some of these people, they're not just attacking you. They want to attack everybody around you. They want to attack your whole posse. Anybody that supports you or shows you some kind of love, they want to get rid of those people because they want you to be isolated when they attack you. But to those people who are attacking you, if they don't know how this is going to go, tell them just turn to chapter 7. We're in chapter 6 now. This is Esther chapter 6. Tell these folk to turn to chapter 7 to find out how this is going to end. God is not out here playing. He is not out here playing with anybody. See, I heard the Lord say, tomorrow their world burns. And because this message is for more than one of you, tomorrow can look different for every one of you. For some of you, you're going to find out some things about your enemy tomorrow, about your attacker tomorrow, literally tomorrow. You're going to hear something about some that went wrong for them. You're going to receive some information from somewhere. For others of you, it's not literally tomorrow. But what it does mean is that their downfall is coming swiftly. If you look at the timeline of events before Haman lost his life, that stuff happened fast. 1 minute, he was planning and plotting for Mordecai to be killed, and the next minute, he was dead himself. A matter of days, that's all it was. So I say all of this to say, this person that put this attempt out on your life, God is a fair God. He is a just God. Because they won't stop, He's going to end their life so that they can't end yours. I hope this message brought clarity to someone. I hope that despite the heaviness of it, the heaviness of the content, that it comforts you enough to know and boosts your confidence enough to know that God has your back. I love you guys. I will be back with another word as soon as the Lord releases me. Take care.